What's popping? Oh man, been a long day. All right, what's popping, y'all? Shout out to Red Bull for sponsoring this stream. Gives you wings. I think I've drinking 3 cans of Red Bull in my life. Not a good drink. Well, there's they make like flavored Red Bull now. They got like rainbow. They got Red Bull like peach flavor. That shit's good. That shit's good. What's popping? I can't pronounce that name. Zilaxip. What's up, dude? Has your submission been accepted? Yeah. Uh. There it is. I see it now. Yeah. 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 Easy win. Wall hoop, huh? Man, that's interesting. All right. What's up, Stan? What's going on, dude? My dad gave me like a quarter of Red Bull when I was 610. It was alcohol. We all did crazy things, man. Bunch of weird children, man. All right. We'll give it another minute. Let people collectively drip in while we listen to Radiohead. What's poppin'? Whatever makes you. A guy named Dovahkiin followed the stream 4 days ago. What's up, Dovahkiin? No, the music doesn't get recorded in the VOD, so cheated. What was that? What's my AC? All right. Thank you, Radiohead, for sponsoring this stream. All right. Peter skipped a chemo actual submission. Nah, you're not on here, dude. All right. So we will start. Can I get thicker? There we go. Oh shit, thanks man, I appreciate that. We got another challenge going on. Thank you. PSP modless. Oh, Kerbal Space. Oh. That game's great. I've played it like, excuse me, I played it like once, like back in the day, but like, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, dude. I'm not a engineer like that, so. Well, I'm doing good, Shooter. How are you doing, bro? We're about to get crack-a-lackin' on this guy right here. So first up, it's kind of out of order. Chris did not submit last, but I was just like scrolling through and then I downloaded Chris's first, so it's in order, except it's not in order, so here we go. What's up, dude? Yep, Kilton007 is my name. It is Kilton007. Alright, so first we got Chris here. The big guy himself. Alright, so first off, let's look at his topology. Jarvis, show me the topology. Okay. So you've got some pretty interesting stuff. You got this Go down here. Daddy 07. Nice. So this is pretty dense up here, which I think is fine. However, I think you could have gotten away with removing every other one of these. I think you probably could have gotten away with it. Also, how did these not get triangulated? Wouldn't these have gotten triangulated? Well, I guess this is a Blender render, so that's fine. But the other thing that sticks out to me is this ball is pretty dense. So the curve right here is so subtle that you could probably even collapse these two right there. Yeah, there's that. I am a fan of doing this. I prefer to do this as opposed to topologizing it straight across. I prefer to do this. So we get like evenly sized triangles and then just UV break this here so that we bake this all flat. We'll have no problems. Looks like you've got your triangles handled well here. Can't really see the density of those guys. You got pretty high density all around, which I think... I don't have your try count, hold on. Oh, I do have your try count. It is right here. So 21,000 is pretty high. Most clients won't accept that. I think for this scope, I think the goal was more around like probably 15K, probably even less than that. But we're, you know, modeling in things like this bolt right here, we're modeling that in, you know, stuff like that. So 21K is definitely pretty high. I would say probably if we were gonna go Call of Duty, this would probably be around 12K, probably 13K maybe. But yeah, we're doing, it's a challenge, you know, we're trying to get the most detail out of this thing, so that's all right, but pretty high. Overlaps, I like the, we can see your overlaps, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I don't think there's many things we can overlap without it being obvious on this thing, besides you could probably mirror this guy, maybe this guy. You could probably do the inside of the bolts, which maybe you did. I mean, obviously I can't tell from your UVs. I think these are like the bolts, but whatever. You've got enough symmetry that it's like justifiable. So good shit. 2K main, 512 LEDs. Okay, cool. And then as far as UVs go, pretty good. Pretty good. What's in the background here? Is this like the diffuse that's in the background here? That's kind of cool. This is kind of a cool setup. Uh-oh. 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 Found that guy. Little oopsie whoopsie right there. Never hurt nobody. Also, for like a strip like this that's so thin, I would probably straighten that out. Something like this too. Yeah, this is a, when you have like super long thin ones, that's kind of a no-no. You want to straighten those out. But it looks like you did pretty good. Something like this, you could probably just break it right here and just deal with these individual rectangles. Something like that would be fine. Yeah, this thing's unwrapped pretty nicely. This sphere came out pretty nice. That's pretty cool. But if it's something really thick like this, I would get away with leaving that as a circle. You could probably just get away with that. That's the pushes of our. Oh, is it? That's funny. We got UV layouts. Cool. Looks like you're all straight, so that's pretty good. Good work. That's pretty solid. Yeah, you've got all your straight edges. That's pretty good. That's nice. Got some like minor empty spaces up here, but not for me. All right. Now let's look at the renders here. So right off the bat, I think, is my mic okay, by the way? I never checked if my mic was okay. My mic is fine. So right off the bat, I think visually this render is kind of flat, like, so I see you've got like a what's it called? I know what it's called, rim light. You got your rim light here, but this render kind of highlights how your diffuse values are all kind of the same from the mount to the, actually your diffuse values are slightly different, I think, but it's still just the lighting is kind of flat. Also, we have a lot of empty space, so I would have zoomed it in even more. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of this one because if you zoom out and like squint your eyes, we kind of get lost up here, here as well, and up here. I think another rim light would have been good up there because I don't think the rim light down here was a good choice. I think like a rim light up here would have been better. Also, doesn't help that the background's gray and the model is kind of gray. I think the lighting's kind of washed out a little bit on that one. This one, I think, pretty good. See, you've got the 3 knurls. That's key. You got the 3 knurlings. Pretty good. So that topology thing you did really looks nice here. However, in this render up here, I can see the banding of your normal map because you baked it super high. Whoops. You're super like, yeah, the topology changes right on that seam, which is not really a good choice. However, it looks good in most angles, but that particular angle looked kind of rough. I like that you've got the gap here. I think texture-wise, I think it's a bit too cloudy overall. It's not bad. I think you went a bit too gray. Well, let me pull up my reference. I think overall, I think you went a bit too gray with it. Yeah. Yeah, looking at the reference, I think you went a little too gray. I would have pushed the diffuse even darker. Okay. Yeah. And then as far as like the roughness values, I think the roughness feels good. Although I think some of these gets a little cloudy in here, but honestly it's pretty noisy in the reference, so I don't think it's too bad. One thing I did notice is that the bolt right here looks like the same. I think it's because the lighting, the bolt right here looks the same as this value right here. Whereas in the reference, this is clearly a black metal, and this is like more of a silver, it looks like. So that's something else. Not really a fan of the lens here. I think you just took like the train's coming by. I think you took just a blue like fill layer of glass, which it's not ideal. I think some more work could have been put into the lenses a bit more. Like some dirt buildup, you know, some like a finger smudge right here, you know, like some fingerprint would have been nice. It's weird because some of your renders, it came out super kind of gray, and then other renders, it came out pretty like the diffuse came out darker. So I think if you were to do it next time, I think make sure in all the renders you get the diffuse to look, you know, kind of identical throughout. This is cool. I like this idea. See if there's a render or not a render, but a reference like that. Not that I can see, but I think it's cool. However, I can kind of tell that you got a brush normal map and painted it in exactly right here. I can kind of tell you did that. Whoops, I just saved. I think if you had maybe blended the transition in a bit more, I think that would have been a bit better. Also, I would have liked to see the tritium, this is tritium, like glow, you know? Like I did this cool effect where it was like darker on the edges and then lighter in the middle and then darker on the edges, because right now it just kind of feels like a green filler. But I mean, there's not much you can really do there, so it's terrible. This render's pretty good. Yeah, this render's really nice, actually. Yeah, this render's pretty solid. Nice, looks like you got graphics in. Although, one thing about this area... In the reference, it looks like... No, that's a different reference. It looks like these are supposed to be a bit sharper. Does that make sense? They're kind of getting lost, like around here. It kind of gets lost. I think these are supposed to be a bit sharper. But other than that, I don't really have any other complaints with this guy. I like the subtle dirt that you got going on here. What else? Pretty good. Pretty good. These bolts look pretty nice. I like the effect you got going on the edges. I like that one. That's pretty good. Oh, no, the pure ref is not supposed to be visible. Is it? Oh, yeah. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. Yeah, the pure ref is not supposed to be visible, so there you go. But, yeah, other than that, it looks pretty good. Not sure what this is, but I can see you're stepping there. I'm not sure if that's just the render or if that's like a fake issue. I think you're fine, but this render's pretty juicy as well, but you still got a lot of empty space here. I would have rotated these a bit more and then cropped it a bit better. But lighting on this one's pretty good. But the blue lens kind of takes me out of it still. But overall, pretty good work, I'd say. I think overall, I think the low poly is a bit dense. I think the lighting on the renders are a bit much. And I think you could have gone a bit harder on the diffuse towards black. But also, I don't see any like metal scratches anywhere, which, you know, following the reference, there's none, but, you know, I would have liked to see. There's a few scratches on some of these references that I think. That one. See that one in the reference. I'm looking at that reference. But yeah, I can't judge you for that. It's on the challenge thing. Yeah, overall, pretty good stuff. Pretty good. I think if there's anything final. Yes, I think overall, I think you overdid the gloss a bit here, whereas here it looks a little. I think it looks better here, where it's a bit more flat, with just some like sparse areas. I think that looks a bit better, in my opinion. I like the gloss you got coming out of the edges here. Pretty nice, pretty good stuff. Yeah, I don't see any like edge tracing. That's good too. All right. There's a cut missing in the little bolt on the bottom of the sphere shape. Hold on. Are we missing something? Ah, okay. Designed by Sig Sauer in Oregon, assembled in China. Nice. Small glossy thing. I think he's good. I think he's got it all. I think he's good. Looking at the reference right now, I think he's got it. Wait. I think the proportions of your bolt is off, actually. There's this one reference that I just saw. I think these are supposed to come out a bit more, be a bit thinner. And this part is, this cylinder down here is supposed to be a bit longer. Right here. I think so. Yeah, I'm looking at a reference right now. It looks like your proportions are just slightly off. Trying to see other thing. It looks like this cross is supposed to be, oops, right, like this baked down line right here. I think it's supposed to be like right about there. Trying to find the right reference here. Apologies, I gotta jump around a lot. Actually, nope, that's a different version. Fuck. Yeah, I think the line there is supposed to be a bit higher, but that's like very subtle. Okay, pretty good. I think we'll move on to the next one. All right, next up, we got shader. Checked. All right. So shader. All right. This topology right here is just kind of goated. Kind of awesome. You took a cube, sphered it, and then made that the topology. That's pretty awesome. What's your try count? Hold on, I'm out of order. Okay. Oh, look at that, 13,878 tries. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Nice. Nice. Cool. Let me look at these bolts real quick. Nice, nice. Looks good. I don't have many things to say about this. Looks like you modeled then. Oh, Scottish for a second. You modeled in that lip right there. Okay. Interesting choice. Interesting choice to model that in as well. As far as segment count, this is very standard. I think this is pretty good. This is pretty good for modern gaming. That's a pretty standard try count right there. You got the 1P details modeled in. You got the chamfers modeled in. That's good. What else you got? Yeah, this is like, as far as like modern gaming goes, this is pretty standard. The lens right here is modeled perfectly. Probably even collapse this down if you wanted. But yeah, this is great. This is great topology. Bake down all the knurling, nice. Yeah. Good. I don't really have any complaints until I look at the render. I think maybe then we'll see what any topology issues. As far as lenses go, I'm not sure what these guys are for. I assume you added like some layer of thickness going around the lens, which is pretty interesting. I don't think that was like super necessary, but I mean, we have the extra. I mean, we have the extra res, you know, so I mean, why not? But that's something I don't, because we have extra tries there too. Like these are all, you know, these are all tries that I don't think are ever seen, so I probably could have done without these. Don't think those were super necessary. Am I missing renders? Oh, am I missing renders from you? Oh, you made multiple posts. Oh shit. What happens if I do this? Alright, give me 2 seconds. Let me load in other renders. I didn't see your other posts, so yeah, to do the other renders. Oh, that'll do. Alright. These will do. My apologies, sir. Whoop, whoop. Whoop. Crop and boom and crop. All right. Cool. Slurp. All right. Where's my layer? So as far as renders go, the lighting is pretty decent, but I think the camera angle is a bit strange on this. Whoops. On this one. I think you went too perspective with it. I would have gone for more orthographic. You also have a lot of empty space here as well. This is the same render as that, but on a different background, so I don't like having the same angle on multiple renders. Without the voice crack. As far as textures go, I think this is I think we're missing. I don't think your normal channel is reading very well. This thing's pretty gritty and grainy. I think you could have toned up the noise in the normal map a bit, because I think right now what it looks like is just Berlin noise in the gloss, which doesn't really read too well just on its own. The tritium looks cool. You got like this cool effect going in the middle, if that was intentional. I like the fingerprint. It's cool. As far as lighting goes, I think it's a bit flat too. You have the same. So like, what I like to do when I do renders is I like to have like a focal point in each render. So right here, you have the background elements that kind of have the same, almost the same value as here. Then you have this up here that has the same value here. So I'd like to see, at least have like a noticeable focal point in the renders. So like bigger values, like a brighter value here where it falls off here. And you could do that with like vignette or whatever you call it, vignette, whatever. And then yeah, go from there. I would like to see more diffuse like specks. I see you've got the dirt buildup here, but I think there's some really like light specks here and there that I think would look great. I think maybe this was done with a dirt generator, which is reading a bit too strong. It almost reads like a kind of a bake error right here. Pretty good. Let's get a non. Do you only do color renders? Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think just overall, I think it's a bit too cloudy again. I think if you had stuck more to noise in both the normal and maybe a little bit in the diffuse, I think it would have looked a bit better. A little hard to tell. These renders are a bit dark. I like how you can see the bulge in the glass. That looks cool. But I think it's kind of the same issue as I think. What does it look like in the other one? But this glass look right here looks nice. Like this is cool to look at. I don't know if it's the most realistic, but it looks cool to look at, you know. Oh, I see. This is the diffuse, so you took blue to green gradient. Okay. Yeah, yeah. The glass looks decent. I think I would have put a bit more work into giving it more of like giving more translucence to it, you know, and then maybe like a soft glow on the border. Um, but and that can be, I mean, part of it can be done in Photoshop, but like, because there's not really much you can do in Painter, I don't think, besides give it a gloss value and then like a slight opacity, but like, so, I mean, glass and stuff is definitely like a tech art thing. We don't really handle that as substance painter artists. I just did something. Because in the industry, we kind of just slap a fill layer on it like that. Yeah, I like the colors. I like the, got the like yellow sun, not sun, but like warm highlights, and you got the cold. It's pretty cool. I think overall, I think it's just a bit too dark. I'd like to see maybe, yeah, I think more lights down here would have been a bit better. Here feels a bit visually flat. I think too cloudy in the diffuse, I think. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be metalware, but I think you don't have enough lighting to support it, you know? Because you kind of need a bit of light to shine on the metal a bit. Yeah. Let's look at your UVs. Oh, if this is your diffuse channel. Okay, yeah. If this is your diffuse channel, this is definitely too cloudy. A lot of clients will not accept like cloudy stuff like that. Some will, but a lot of clients that I've worked with don't accept cloudy stuff like that. Because when you look at it from certain angles, without lighting, it just looks super stuck on like a texture, which is not the goal. So UVs are good. I don't have much to say about that. Yeah, UVs look good. What did I just do? Well, I think I may have maybe wanted to scale some of these like major shells up a bit more. You seem pretty small on the UV sheet. Well, nah, never mind. Forget I said that. As far as your low poly goes, I can't really see any polys for how many? 14K? For 14K, I can't really see in your polys, which is super successful. I think you really nailed the low poly on this. Although this is kind of a no-no right here. Oh, it's a new layer. This, oh, okay, there we go. Erase. So this is a definite like no-no. You want these to line up completely, because we can see it right here. We can probably now we can point that out in other. Yeah, we can see the banding going on here. Might be subtle on stream, but let me see. So I think next time definitely just like we did not gain much from modeling this in. Like we have to zoom into the pixels to really get this benefit. So this should have been baked down, and I assume probably the same with this, although that one looks a bit cleaner. These match up, which is nice. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. I don't really see any huge issues with like poly density. Although maybe I would have added another segment in here so that these guys don't look flat going across. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Here you modeled in this chamfer. I'm not sure how much we gained from that. Let's look at the render. Honestly, I think I'd go with that. We get a pretty nice AO effect going in there. That looks pretty cool. Good call on that one. I would have modeled that in too. Yeah, I think that's all I got for this one. Good. I think my favorite render out of these probably this one, but you also have some really close to pitch black values. I like this composition that you've got, but yeah, I think you went a bit too dark. And you can kind of see the diffuse channel coming through as just noise, as like a general like rocky, like grunge texture. But overall, pretty solid stuff, pretty solid. The low poly is really nice. The UVs are great. Good stuff. I think we will move on. What's your favorite render? Oh, for Chris. Oh, that's good. That's good. I think this one. This one's nice too. This one's nice, but I think more rim lighting would have helped. But this one, I like this one. I like this one. Number 1. This is my favorite render of Chris. Yeah, I like that one. All right, let's move on to Lance. Lance. All right, here we go. You think you should have manually painted some grunge to break the tiling? Yeah, I think that, and I think just toning it down a lot. Yeah, I think maybe overall just toning it down would have helped a lot. And then maybe switching from like a grunge to like a noise texture, and then like manually paint in some of those shapes. Yeah. All right, let me grab my layer. Can I draw? There we go. All right, so Lance, how many tries is Lance? Lance is at 13.9k tries. Nice, good stuff. And it looks pretty good. Some of this geo here can just be collapsed. I like that you did one segment here. However, right there I can see it. That comes from this. I would have maybe gone with 2. I think 2 would have helped out that angle. I like this render. Although I can a little aliasy, but we can still get the gist here. I think these are your UV borders, these black ones. So pretty good stuff, pretty good. I like that you broke this chamfer because this face is a bunch of triangles. I like that you baked that flat. I see. Good UV borders, good. Oh, this lens is probably, yeah, this lens is probably way too not pixely. What's it called? Not really a render. It is a render. Everything that comes from a computer image is a render, actually. But I think that wireframe. Wait, who did it? Was it Shader? That is a weapon artist moment, dude. This topology is perfect for the lens, except collapsing these guys in. Perfect. I think here this is definitely way too much for just the lens. It looks like a quad sphere, like a sphere that you kind of molded into place, which is a good idea, but I think a lot of it could be collapsed. So that's pretty good. Pretty solid. 13 or 14k. What was it? 14k. 14k is good. 14k is good. See any major poly density issues? Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Issues. I like that you baked in these seams here. I noticed this cylinder up here is a lot more than that cylinder. May have been done the screenshot of a viewport camera. Well, I know that, but I like the colors shining through it like that. I like that. Okay, that's not a line. Okay, I thought this was in your topology, but it's not. So I like the density of that. That's going to look great for first-person views. This is smaller. This is a smaller. Yeah, you're good actually. So this is a bigger cylinder, so it calls for more geo than this right here. Well, nevertheless, render looks good. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, let's look at the UVs. Where's the UVs? Let's see the UVs, man. Nice. I think here's a strip you could have straightened it. Just like the Migos. Straighten that. A couple more strips I would have gone straight. Pretty good. Got a bit of empty space like here and here, but too bad. That strip's big enough, could just leave it. Let's see what else. Space there. Pretty good. Got this lone shell right here. He's so lonely. That's pretty good. I think that guy as well I would have straightened out, but pretty nice. A lot of space on the UVs. Almost looks like he manually packed them. Yeah. Yep. Manual packing is still needed these days. So, you know, for something like this, you have like more space here. You could just take these shells and scale them up so that they fill the space better. Like you're gonna get like a few pixels more, but like clients like to see that their UVs are being filled, you know? So clients like that stuff. So like these guys, I would have scaled them up just so they could fill in this space a bit more. Clients like to see that. Clients like to see it. But overall, pretty good UVs. All right. Oh, I didn't see this before. This is plus 50 social credit for the weapon room. All right, let's look at the textures. I think the noise here is a bit too big. I think if you scaled it down a bit more, it'd read a bit better. A bit more like the reference. UV status packed. I like the scratch here. I think I can see a bit of a sharpen filter going on. Not too sure, but yeah. I think there's like some. Oh, I can see the. Okay, there we go. So I can see like your. I don't know if this is in the gloss or the spec channel, but I can see your edge generator right there. Doesn't look too hot. Also, there's like. I think that's fine, but yeah, I can kind of see a little bit of edge generator going on. This right here reminds me of like old Call of Duty where it was like kind of pretty heavy in the diffuse because I didn't have PBR back then, but it kind of looks a little too gamey, and I think it's because I think you had a noise. Oops, I clicked something. I think you had a noise layer and then sharpened it a bit too much. It also just, the noise itself feels a bit too big. I think if you scaled it down a bit more, I think it would have been a bit better. I like these scratches right here. They're cool. I'm not really a fan of this dust right here. It's kind of like, it feels like you took a Perlin, not like a Perlin, but like a fill layer noise, like a fill layer noise or something, and then just like put it all in here. I think I would have liked to see more build up in like the areas like that, because I think it feels kind of like you took a dirt generator and slapped it in there. This stuff right here I'm not really a fan of. It's like I can see the generator lines, which I don't think we can. Looking at the reference, I can't really. I see these in the reference, but it's like it goes like this. It's like here, it's like really strong here, and then it like fades out. And because I think it's because like, well, I'm not even gonna attempt to explain why, but here and then it kind of fades out a little bit. I think the bolts, they feel like the same metal as right here. I think I would have gone a bit different in value and more in the gloss. Gloss up. There. They feel a bit samey with the metal right next to it. I really like these radial scratches you got going on. Yeah. I like that. Although I don't really like how it's on like everything. I think if you had just left it like maybe to like right here in a highlighted area, because this is a pretty common angle to look at the scope. I think right here would have been good. I'm not really a fan of it being all the way around, because when I turn my scope, I turn it and then I grab it and I turn it so it's only, I would only really expect to see like one spot of wear kind of, but that's a little nitpicky. But yeah, I think you should have picked maybe like one or two spots to have it as opposed to all the way around. Are you missing the tritium, or is that on the other side of the scope? Oh, that's on the other side of the scope. Okay, let's take a look. Take a look at another render. Yeah, this takes me out of it, kind of. I don't like that. These look nice. Let's see if we can get another render with those bolts. The render with the bolts. Oh, there we go. I like the way you did the bolts. The bolts look pretty nice. A lot of these scratches look pretty nice. I like how there's a highlight right here on the corner. Pretty nice. Ooh, I'm not a fan of this noise right here. Yeah, I think overall, if you take the noise, take pretty much all of them and then scale them up so the noise is smaller. I think that would help a lot, because I can see the individual like noises, which is not good. However, you did good by putting a lot of it in the normal, which I think is pretty nice. You got some more radial scratches here. Again, I think you went all the way around. I would have just stuck to, on this particular scope, my brother has one, so I was able to use it. I found myself grabbing the side of the scope and then using my finger to use the throw lever. So not really gonna see this a whole lot, but it's not bad. Maybe just like one or two on this side. Right. Checking a model right now. I think model wise you did pretty good. In the references, there's a larger gap here in the references, which I think makes it feel more real. Maybe you baked down that. Let's see the topology. It looks like you modeled it in. Yeah, so I would have gone a bit bigger on the gap right here, like in some of the references. It helps things like feel more, for lack of a better term, more real, I guess. I like the diffuse specs. That's just about all I got. I can't think of anything else. Missing any decal? You're missing a decal. Oh no, there it is. I was looking for the right there. You got it. I don't see any noticeable model issues. Yeah, I think you did pretty good. pretty good. I think that's all I got. This render I would toss. I don't think you modeled the inside of the scope, so we're seeing the like back faces of it, so I would probably just toss this. This is why modeling the inside of the scope is important for games. I mean, it can be sometimes it's super simple, just like make a tube and then make it like, I don't know, like 12 sides and just goes through. But yeah, I think black isn't really helping there. Do you have this without topology, perhaps? No, I guess not. Looking down a scope would be pretty similar to, well, I'm trying to think. I could go grab my rifle, but we're not going to do that. If you were really looking down a scope, you'd see like a really soft fall off right here. So, but other than that, pretty good stuff. I like the milling effect you have going around there. That's pretty nice. Good stuff. Okay. My favorite render. Probably a fan of the perspective angle, personally. I guess maybe because I've just modeled in orthographic for so long that I'm not really a fan of the white background. Not really a fan of the white background either. Oh. Actually, the white background kind of works for this, but I think this is my favorite render. I think that guy right there is my favorite render. Number 1. Cool. I think, God, my voice is just destroyed today. Oh, I also noticed these edges right here, they can just be welded right there. You don't need them to go all the way around. All right. Cool. Let's move on. Good stuff. Wide flat. That's perfect. I do like the weapon room decal. This thing was not made in Oregon. No, it was made in the weapon room server. All right. All right. So Casper, unfortunately, did not get a chance to finish, but oh, there's something floating. Okay. So Casper didn't get a chance to finish. However, we're still going to take a little gander. One thing I noticed is here, these aren't parallel. I think there's a tiny bit here as well, but probably not. Maybe not, but good stuff. Look at the high poly. We can't really tell much from a lot of geo here. Instead of having it like so close together, you could have spaced it out a bit more here, over here in this area. Yeah, I think that would have been great. I think you're going a bit too low on this guy. Going just a bit too low on that. I think over here is fine. I would maybe add a few, probably add 5 more around. But other than that. And gone. I assume you're not done with this, so. Well, I won't judge you for the N-gons, but. Let's look at the high poly. High poly is good. Got the knurls going in there. I feel like you have too many knurls going on. It could just be this angle, but it looks like the only there's another angle. No, you got the right amount. Okay, never mind. You're good. Can't really tell here, but it looks like these should be extruded a tiny bit. I think you got that though. It's just that right. Yeah, there you go. You got it. You're good. Good. Pretty good. I like the way you did this lip right here. It's very readable. It looks nice. I like it. Cool stuff. This thing looks great. Top turret looks good. That looks great there. Let's look at the mount. Nice, you got the gap in there with the screws you're missing. Looking good, looking good. I think this gap needs to be a bit bigger. Actually, I think all of these gaps need to be a bit bigger. Actually, I think we talked about that when we were in Discord, but yeah, overall. I think this needs to be rounded out some more. Same here. Bolts look good. Got the tooth there. Side, you've got the right stuff going on. Cool, good stuff. And the screw line did one because I was just, oh yeah, you're just gonna copy. Yeah, that's pretty great. Oh, are you Casper? Okay. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense now. Other than that, I got nothing. Pretty good. A shame that you couldn't finish, but we understand. We appreciate the valiant effort anyways. Oh, here's another render. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good stuff, dude. Good stuff. All right. So let's move on to Jap. Oops. Now this one I really like this one. Now the reason that I really like this one is because this is a model that like I would want to see this in DayZ. I want to see this like in Arma. You know, this has got that like wear and tear to it that would look great in a DayZ and Arma setting. Oh, shut up, nice. Why's my chair like uneven, dude? What is this shit? Like this one, we don't have the most realistic textures. Like we got a little green tint going on there. Maybe that's just the lighting, but this one, I want to see this one in DayZ, which is what I really like. This render right here in the grass, goated. This render right here on the rock, goated. This render, I think you have like maybe too many scopes laying around. Still, goated. Are you reviewing submissions? Oh yeah, the challenge is over. These are all the submissions. Yeah. This thing looks awesome. I really like this one. Oh, train's coming. You're a madman for making this all in one shell. That's crazy. But it works. Looks like it works. Something like this probably could have been straightened. So shells like this that are crooked, you just gotta straighten it straight down. Same here. Same with all these right here. For something like this, it's so close to being straight, you might as well just straighten it. I like how he did one dial without the cover. And I didn't catch that. Oh, right here. Oh. That's pretty sick. Pretty pog and epic, if you ask me. Shells like this, straighten. Probably straighten that too. So I think your UVs need a bit of work. They look like they're packed nicely. I think I can tell that you auto packed it because we have this large gap up here. Straighten. Yeah, I think overall, if you straighten out some of these UVs, that's more what clients want to see. And also, when these things get baked, so in a game, you'll probably have gotten way more out of his UVs. Yeah, probably could have, but so I think So in games, when you do a scope like this, you know, your textures will be, you'll probably bake this thing at 2K, and then in game, like the world model, you know, the one that's like thrown on the ground when you pick up a new gun or something, will probably be like 1K or 512. All of this stepping here will be visible. Well, I mean, if you like zoom into the model, you know, but that's what we do as artists. You know, we try to get the best quality possible. So something like this guy right here, straighten. And just straighten all these. Oh yeah, I'm not. So something like this, you got a lot of this like slight curve to it. All of this should have just been straightened. Straighten, 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 straighten. Straighten, straighten. Here, straighten, straighten. Yeah, so I think if you put a bit more work into the UVs, you would have squeezed some more res out of it. And then it would have been a bit better. Like even something like this, it's so close. It's so close, it just needs to be straightened. The lens looks good. I think if you move this up here, you would have gotten more res out of it. But cool. Cylindrical caps must also be straightened. Prevent them from aliasing with the logo. Oh yeah, true. That is very true. Yeah, right here. So you want to. I mean, I'm guilty of not doing this as well, but you want to straighten it in a way so that the pixels are going to line up with your graphic, which is, I'm guilty of doing it. I rarely ever check. Not gonna lie. So overall, I think your UVs need a bit of work. Let's look at the low poly. I think you could use another segment here. I think vertically, I think you could have welded some of these together. There. It's not bad. Well, we can see the X-ray. We can see through the model. The new wireframe lets you see through the wire. Pretty good. Good stuff. Unfortunately, I can't really like see your model to see if you guys have like hidden geo or anything, so I can't really judge you there. Looks like you modeled in this seam right here, which may not be the best idea. Not too sure about that one. Same with this is like not a huge deal, but this vertex could be welded here. Not a huge deal. Looks nice though. Looks nice. Great. Looks great. Any other wireframe renders? Oh, okay. I like that this non-silhouette breaking cylinder is only like 22 around. That's my guess, 22. Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't correct me, I know I'm wrong. But yeah. Good stuff, good stuff. I don't see any like glaring issues, so that's good. Although I'm not sure how I feel about that edge right there. Probably could just welded that up. See what else you got. Stuff. Yeah, not bad. Not many complaints about that. See you live. Oh, welcome back. It's good to be live again. Hopefully more streams starting soon. One thing I noticed, this font is wrong. Same with this one in here. The fonts are wrong. Moved into a new place. Yeah, I got a new place, so god damn it, the window is like in my so yeah, we got the new place. Oh, thanks, Jack. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it, man. You like it? Yeah, this place is awesome. Yeah. Can't see it, but I got a table down there. I gotta unpack that. That's my dining table slash poker slash roulette table. I bought a roulette wheel the other day. But anyways, we're getting sidetracked here. Cool stuff. Low poly, good. All right, let's look at the texture. So this thing you deviated pretty hard from the concept, or not the concept, but for the info you gave us. No problem, dude. Anytime. Deviated pretty hard from reality, which is, I think it's a good thing. Some people will say it's a bad thing. Clients, depending on what the client wants, will determine how you texture things, obviously. But this thing, I think you were pretty successful in it. I'm not really a fan of the green tint going on. I'm not sure if that's you or if that's the lighting. But also I can tell this font is wrong too. That's unfortunate. Oh, oh dude, you're missing the bolts here. Oh man, that sucks. Missing the bolts there. Unfortunately, the res didn't come through very good. You still got kind of low res stuff going on. Like, I can't even read this. I mean, I know what it says. It's oh, is this a 0.5 MOR per click? It also doesn't look like it's centered, like as a circle. So yeah, I would be careful when you have a dial like this with really fine details. You need to scale it up a bit. So this detail right here, now this one is epic. Not a lot of people can have done this, and I think the only person I've seen do it is Mr. Cohen Brawley himself. So I believe you are the second person in the world to do this detail, which is pretty awesome. Really like that. That's like super awesome. Although I feel like I think of a Picatinny, but I think this gap is a bit too big. Because if this is a rail tooth, I feel like this gap may be a bit too big. But still, for including that, that's a big bonus for including that. Not sure how I feel about this. I don't think you have the res, unfortunately, to support this detail here. This looks like a dent right here. I don't think you have the res to support this one. Fortunately, I would probably just toss that and just replace it with like a brushing or something. I like it, dude. I like it. I think overall, I think maybe just a bit too much noise, and maybe a bit too large. If you tone that down a bit, it would be a bit better. This also reminds me a lot of my a bit of my older texturing style, where I would do like put a bit of color in it, so it made it look really aged, which is cool. I think it's pretty cool. But I think for something like this, a bit cleaner would have been a bit better. Oh, here we go. We can see the, ooh. This render is nice. This is a nice render. This detail is awesome. Yeah, I think if you'd straightened your UVs a bit more, we would have gotten some more res. We look a bit low res here. But here you got like really good res, whereas here just the reses don't match all that great. You've got this kind of low res effect, well, with this like super high res effect, and then this is, I would toss this effect. Yeah, you definitely don't have the res to do that, I don't think. Be careful when you're doing oil to not go like mirror like, because I can see your HDRI coming through this. So when you do oil, you want it to be noticeably glossier than the base material. However, I think there you went a bit too strong. It's almost like you took like gun oil and just like globbed it here, but I really like this. This is sick. It really like adds a nice like highlight to an otherwise kind of boring scope that's just all black. That's pretty sweet. Whose model is this? This is Jap. Yeah, unfortunately you're missing the bolts. It's unfortunate, but. So you've got the bolt there, but you didn't model in the threading. I don't think. Look at. Got the gap though, but I don't think you modeled in the threads there. It's unfortunate. That's just like a free detail. When you bake details down, that's just free detail, you know. It's free real estate. The lens looks like the lens does look a bit fake, unfortunately. It is, lenses are super hard, especially for us non-tech artists to do, but I think a little less color. Got some nice gloss variation going on, some noise and stuff, but a bit less color would be great. I can't tell if you put any more details into the tritium because we got a DOF effect going on. Oh, this is another thing that I looked at. So this effect right here, this brushing, it's cool, but how important are texture breakdowns when it comes to portfolio pieces and hiring interviews? Nah, they don't. Recruiters, so we'll go on a tangent real quick, then we'll come back. So recruiters do not know what they're doing. I mean, some of them will, but like when they recruit and they say, hey, look for people that do weapons, they look for sick renders of guns. When you show them a wireframe, they don't know what poly density is. They don't know that you baked in 8K, which is not ideal. They don't know that you exported 4K textures with 25 texture sets for a scope. You know, they don't know that. So texture breakdowns, personally, I don't think are important. When you go to a studio, you're going to get art tested. That's where they're going to see your breakdown. So personally, I don't like doing breakdowns. I like doing sick renders, letting my work shine. Just leave a little description. Thing is 13,000 tries with 4 texture sets, and then you can do your texel density if you want. All right, back on track. These bolts are wrong. Bolts are supposed to extrude inwards like that, right? Am I right or am I wrong? Have any other? I don't think these are supposed to extrude inwards. It's a very subtle, flat face, like the bolt goes this, then it goes, and then like that. I don't think it's supposed to go inwards like this. There's a too fucking perfect. Thanks a lot. I saw that on Twitter. That some people are. You need to include your texture breakdowns. Maybe for environment art, maybe, but prop art, just post cool shit, man. Where was I? Yeah, I think you got the bolts wrong. No, nothing there. Oh, you're missing the bolts here. And the bolts there. Good stuff. Yeah, I think just a bit too noisy. I feel like maybe you did a sharpen filter. Or a sharpen filter on this guy. Oh, also, this mount is wrong. Wait. Ooh, I think you're missing this chamfer down here, unless that's... Oh, yeah, I think you got the chamfer. Of absolutely no chill. Well, it's not that people have no chill, it's just that people just... Their opinion is always right. Like, you know, and it's just new opinions every day, and it's just, oh my god. Ooh, more polys here. Definitely want more polys there. That's a pretty big silhouette break there. I would put more polys. Let's look at these. Need the non-wire frame. There we go. I think you juiced the high poly a bit too hard. I think you went a bit too blobby here. High. You will never win against people, dude. You will never win. Dude, I got a recruiter the other day hit me up. They're like, hey, good stuff. Do you work in video games? Do I work in video games? I don't know. Took you 2 seconds to message me. You could have put another 2 seconds into researching my profile, but yeah, I think you juiced the high poly, polished the high poly a bit too hard. Sig logo looks good, but yeah, we can see the aliasing. Unfortunately, see the aliasing there. Pretty good, pretty good. Pretty good stuff. I'm gonna move on, but I like it. I like it. So that's my feedback for that one. We'll move back. We'll move on. We're gonna go to a reg. I don't understand how you can push that much detail out of one 4K set. Like sometimes like blurry any details are barely visible. Does it look super clear? Well, there's a lot of things that go into making things look good, but we got a reg. A reg is up. One thing right off the bat that I noticed is this lip right here is too thick. This guy's too thin. This guy's too thick. This guy right here is a bit too thick. So model-wise, I think we messed up a bit there on the proportions. All right, let's look at that. Let's look at the low poly. Where's the low poly? There we go. How many tries are you at? Skyrim NPC. Never should have come here. All right, 23,000. That is just very high. You are almost in the realm of too high. I would gander that you are in the realm of a bit too high. The sphere here is I think just too dense. So you've got the same density here as you do inside here. You could have collapsed these edges in here to make it a bit thinner. We do not need this. This geo right here is super excessive. You could have, honestly, you probably could delete every other edge here and you'll be fine. I think you've got too many edges going on here. Could have collapsed these edges here. I like that you modeled in the caps. That's pretty cool. You modeled in the caps. Nice stuff. Didn't model in the knurling, which is good. I saw some people talking about modeling in the knurling, and I wanted to see what y'all were gonna do. Knurling like this is never modeled in. I'm sure there's some game out there where it is modeled in, but no game that I have played. Good, looks good. You got this. See this? So you've got like a lot of, well, you are following good poly density rules by making this thing smaller than, or less geo than all of this, but still we're super dense. Like this curve is too subtle for 1, 2, 3, 4 edges, you know? Yeah, so if you collapse these triangles, you would have been much better off, I think. Yeah, so low poly overall, I think you're a bit too high. You're a bit too high here. All right. UVs, VWs. VWs look good. You might run into some issues with like super tight padding. Because you are kind of like razor thin on the padding in some areas. I think you'll be fine. This is really good UVs. Yeah, I think if you just padded a bit more, I think you would have been a bit better. Clients want more padding because when you, I think it's, I could be wrong, but I think it's when you MIP down to like lower resolutions, it would, when you MIP down to lower resolutions, the padding becomes, you need it a bit more. So, kind of surprised you didn't get many bake errors out of this, out of 2K out of this, but again, I can't really see your bake, so. Good UVs. UVs are good, just a bit more padding. I probably would make that small cylindrical thing floating geo. Let me see. Oh, on the bottom here. Oh, did you model that in? Yeah, so on things that are not welded, if these were welded together, you would want to model that in, but, or train. But yeah, you could have just collapsed all this geo and just made it floating. Good call, good call. Yeah, just too much geo for these bolts, just not really justifiable. Super dense for the front of a scope right here. So you got the lens good. You got a great detail on the lens, or amount of polys on the lens, but it's just like super high res right here. Could have collapsed like two. I probably inside here. I probably could have collapsed two, and then you would have been probably good. Clients I work with ask for 12 pay thin manning. Cool. I haven't worked with that, but pretty cool. There you go. Yeah, I think just super dense geo. All right, let's go into the textures. So texture-wise, I can already see this noise. Looking at my reference, I'm not really a fan of this noise. It's like, just doesn't look right. I think, honestly, this would have been a perfect job for Quixel_plastic_computer. I'm not really a fan of this brushy diffuse that you've got going on. Just not really a fan of it. And to use HDRI in renders, use both. Use both. The trade-off. The trade-off whenever I need it. Ooh, also right here on your model, there's a slight lip that goes right here. That goes down on all of these. There's a slight lip that you're missing there. As opposed to just this extruding right here, there's a slight lip. Then this extrudes off of it. Yeah, I think you missed that. Yeah, I don't think I'm a fan of the noise or the grain. Like on the reference, these should be a bit wider. I could be wrong, but on the reference, it looks like this line right here is a bit wider. I see. So you also added some of these directional scratches here. Okay. Looks a little... feels a little blurry. I think maybe a sharpen filter on that would have been a bit better. You got some good specs. I think you put a bit too many specs in just one area. Good. You got the thin triangle. You got the dial. I like the diffuse breakup between the dial and or the number dial and the actual like turret itself. However, I think overall there's an issue with your renders and that they're just too washed out. They go bigger. So I used to have a problem with this in my rendering back in the day. Your lighting just totally blew out your textures. So this is like super gray all around. I think, yeah, like here, like just super gray and washed out. Yeah. So unfortunately, we can't really like judge your textures all that well because you kind of overexpose the lighting a bit too much. So let's keep looking now. I would have gone a bit darker on the lens caps, although it is nice that you have a nice material breakup between the two. But I still think you went a bit too gray on those. Then again, yeah, I don't think I can judge textures very well off of these renders. The font here feels a bit blurry. Got the bolts, nice. Yeah, this is like kind of brushy, almost. I think I would have gone for more stenciled in, like a bit sharper. It's got a bit too much like gradient fall off. I would have gone a bit sharper. Maybe even just manually painted in. and then just like take away on the brush, you know, something like that. I like that it's just in one area. I mean, I can kind of see it all the way around, but I like it. I'd like it to just be stronger in like one area. Yeah, I think overall the grain I'm just not really a fan of. Yeah. Box renders, yeah, we're gonna get to the box render. Those are real nice. So, yeah, I think a thinner or a finer grain would have been a bit more realistic for this guy. Overall, I think it feels a bit too gamey. But so this render here, I'm not totally a fan of. The you do get bonus points for, oh shit, where is it? For the 69-420. However, the lighting in Modern Warfare 2 is very soft, so the lighting here, a bit too much chromatic aberration. When I did my renders, I just tried to add a bit of it, but if you zoom in, it kind of feels like you're looking at like a 3D movie, you know, one of those old blue and red ones. So I toned down the chromatic aberration just a tiny bit. I think trying to match Modern Warfare 2's lighting is a bit difficult. Honestly, Modern Warfare 2's lighting is a bit, in my opinion, it's a bit flat. I think 2019 had a bit better lighting, but especially in like the gunsmith, Modern Warfare 2's lighting I think is a bit too flat. I think 2019 I think did a bit better. This render here I feel is a bit too contrasty. We've got total black all over. I think just a bit too contrasty, a bit too much going on. Like there's no main focal point. Like there's a focal point right here on his thumb. There's a focal point right here on his wrist. Cold War is good lighting. Cold War is great lighting. Actually, the lighting in Cold War felt a bit washed out too. It's been a while. I haven't played that game in forever. And the focal points down here, I would have gone for like a vignette effect and done like a gradient down here, so that we could kind of kill these highlights. But overall, it's composed nicely. You've got your, you know, your rule of thirds. You know, got the scope up here. You got the gun down here. Pretty good. Pretty not bad. And you slapped it on your project, which I liked. That's good stuff. This render right now, you just did it for fun, but not really. Doesn't really add a whole lot of value. Even though it is for fun, it doesn't really add a whole lot of value. You kind of just slapped a gold fill layer over everything, including the normal. You can see your normal details in there. Can't really judge you for that one, but you know, this render right here is where your low poly really shines, because you've got almost zero polys going on. I mean, if you can like very subtly see it, but close enough. You've got enough chromatic aberration to where it's realistic. This render right here is fucking awesome. And you've got like a realistic scope thing going on. You got a nice fall off there. Pretty nice. And someone honked. Looks great down here, although you got total black, but like for a in the shadow render like this, it looks pretty. This looks awesome. Really like that one. I think you kind of suffer the same thing as the other one. I think it's too contrasty up here. But this one's not as bad as the other one because there's less highlights, but you still got like a lot of highlights here and here. I think I would have preferred this to be the main focal point. Well, actually, never mind. Scrap that, but scrap that. This render's not too bad. I think just a bit lighter on the vector would have been a bit great. But now these box renders that you did, these are pretty freaking gnarly, dude. Yeah, these are pretty goated. I would have gone for a bit less wear around. See now this one. See now this render specifically makes this noise look good, but it still in the other renders it still doesn't look very realistic. These look very nice. These are really nicely done. You got the box modeled in, great. These look awesome. This one I think is your money shot. Cha-ching! Wait, that's backwards. Got the folds in the cardboard, you know. The box looks great. Got the seams modeled into the box. Like, these ones are awesome. These ones are great. See, these ones kind of make your textures look much better than these HDRI renders. These ones feel like models. This one feels like the real deal, you know? So, yeah, these look great. These look awesome. I have just about no complaints with these. Bro, forgot what money looks like? Yeah, I did kind of forget what money looks like. Spend more time on the box than the scope. No, I don't know about that one. About that one. The model here is very nice. But it did look like a lot of nice effort went into the presentation on these two. These are very nice. Pretty good, pretty good. Time are we at? Hour and a half? I think I'll move on. After final comments on this one. Pretty good, pretty great. I didn't check if the model had any, excuse me, inaccuracies. I think you look just fine. Model wise, I think you're good. I think you got some like something going on here. I don't know if you modeled in the threads or if you modeled in, or if that's just like scratches. I can't really tell, but yeah, dude, I spent. Yeah, rent is a sore topic for me right now. Dude. We don't talk about that. A bit less color, I think, would look a bit better in the lens too. Cool, good stuff, dude. Good stuff. Pretty great. I'd probably just redo these renders, a little bit better lighting. Probably maybe toss these. Put this one in there for sure. Probably toss this one. I think if you adjusted the lighting on this one a bit, it could look a bit better. Tone down the chromatic aberration, look great. These are your opening renders right here. Those look great. Good stuff. All right. Favorite render by far is probably the money shot right here. Cha-ching! See, I remembered that time. All right. Let's move on to Alex TS. Grab my layer here. A bit thicker. There we go. We got another box modeler. Box looks pretty good. For presentation purposes, the box looks pretty good. I like that you got the little lip there going on. I think maybe if you damage the box a bit more, like Reg did here. Where is it? Get more of these little bendy things going on. I think it would have been a bit more realistic. Great. Shout out to all the box modelers. Hell yeah, dude. Shout out to all the box modelers, man. Like how you've got the weapon room stickers all around. That's kind of goofy, but keep in mind for professional portfolios, I would probably remove things like this. They just look kind of tacky and kind of goofy, and a bit unprofessional, if you will. But for our purposes, this render's really nice. For our purposes, do whatever you want. Let's look at the low poly. What is your try count? God, the sun is in my eyes. What are you at? 19K try, so a bit high. And I think a lot of that comes down to these end caps look a bit high. Whoops. There we go. My head is itchy. Oh man. Ooh, you've got the inside of the end caps modeled in as well. These are faces that you would definitely delete. That is the inside, right? Oh no, that looks like the, oh. Well, I'm trying to think. It looks like you've got the inside of the lens cap, so these are faces that you would delete. They're not really seen. This glass looks nice. I like the glass here. The ball looks pretty good. A bit too dense here. This thing down here is a bit too dense. Yeah, this thing down here is too dense. This guy right there. Hydrate, good call, good call. Maybe a bit too much geo in here. Not bad. I think just some areas could be toned down in density, and I think you'll be good. I like that you modeled in the chamfers. That's good. I like that. Okay. Yeah, I think just some less density. I think you'll be good there. Don't forget to drink to the waters. Good call. I really like this. I like the raindrops. The raindrops look really nice. Although, if we're gonna get really nitpicky, I don't think you'd see drops inside here. I think what you would see more is water like build up here. I like that some of them are leaking. Excuse me. That looks pretty great. Cool. I'm not sure how I feel about the 19 here. It's almost like a bit too thick. Not sure how I feel about it. I feel like it's a bit too thick. Yeah, that's really all I can say. I can't really put my finger on it, but it looks up a bit thick. Water built up on a planar face. Yeah, I don't think you would. Or it's not so much water like building up. It's more so just like there would be a collection of water here that would like there. You know what I mean? It's not so much that there would be a splash of water built up right there. You know, but yeah, I would like to see some more water. These thick water droplets. They kind of take me out of the frame. How they're not really. I think those should drip down a bit more. Oh, let's look at your UVs. We didn't look at the UVs. Good. Good padding. Excuse me. Man, I'm tired. Long day at work. Yeah, I have no complaints with the UVs. Other than a shell like this could just be straightened out. Yeah, I got no complaints. The UVs look good. I'd approve those UVs. Nice. Yeah. No worries, no worries. Another raindrop guy here. Cool. Yeah, just the drops on the inside there. Some of these big, thick guys don't really look like they should drip down a little bit. Not a bad render there. Not a bad one. Not a bad one. I think the lighting on this one's a bit flat. The values in here, the same here, here, here. If you figured out some lighting to get a bit more contrast in some of these like cavities, I think that would have been a bit better. As far as like the noise goes in the textures, I think you got it pretty good to a point where it's thin, but it's also pretty interesting. I think you got it pretty good. Oh, thanks, man. I'm glad you enjoy it. Take care, man. Don't really see any generators. That's good. Not really a fan of this green. Yeah, even in the renders, they feel a bit more blue as opposed to green. Not really a fan of the green. You did put a lot of work into getting the material definition to read differently, so that's pretty good. But overall, this one feels kind of like rubber a little bit. I think it might be because of this gloopy thing, glob thing going on. The plastic on these scopes is pretty well made, as opposed to kind of globby like this. Yeah, this feels like this warping effect you got going on makes it feel really cheap, kind of. This is not a cheap scope, let me tell you. Cool. So you've got a little bit of height in the logo. I'd probably toss that. Kind of makes the scratches feel a bit fake. It makes it feel like almost like this is a sticker. There's sometimes where there's some areas where I would put height in logos, but here I don't think it would look great. Yeah, I'd probably nuke the height on that. I can see you've got the diffuse separation from these two. I think I can see that. The reviewers say it's the cheapest scope you can get. Well, I mean, is it? It depends on your definition of cheap, man. How much is a Tango MSR Sig Sauer? I thought this thing's like $700, is it not? 1 to 6 times. Except, stop giving me the ads, man. Like $300-400. Yeah. Pretty expensive. And Sig Sauer does not make shitty products, so probably take out the height on that. I think I can see kind of like a dirt generator going on in the cavities here. I'd like to see more breakup there, like that. You know, just like build up there, build up here. You know, build up there, build up there. Oh no, you're missing a bolt there, dude. Oh man. Oh, that's a tragic bolt missing right there. I like that you've got the material separation between these two. I don't know if this bolt is a total metal. I think it's like kind of like one of those ones where you go like part way in between, but I like the material separation. Clients will often ask for things to have a raw metal so that there's more interest in like a highlight to it. The reviews for it says the end caps are really well made and durable. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah. RIP Bolt 2023. Cool. I think if you had increased the gap here a bit more. Let me go back to that picture, see what it looks like. Yeah, increase the gap here a bit more to make it feel a bit more lifelike. We could really see the threading that you did. Because I can see the detail in there, but I want to taste the detail, you know. I want to see it. Yeah, let's look at this render down here. Oh, there we go. Plus 50 social credit there. Nice DOF effect. This looks really nice. This is a nice render. This almost comes out a bit too bluish. Maybe make the tritium a bit more green. The wear on the Sig Sauer logo feels a bit cheesy, if you ask me. I like the peels and the stickers that you got, but it's a bit too much all around. Like if you just had a couple folds here and there. 5 brain. Cool, not bad. I like the material separation between the bolts and the rail. Clients love that shit. Good stuff. These renders right here are a bit... These renders are pretty good. We got a noticeable highlight there. Although down here, the lighting feels a bit flat. I'm not sure how I like seeing this effect on like newer things. This effect kind of reminds you of just like old weapons, you know? Like you see this on like AKs, like old AKs, you know. I think modern manufacturing is more like straight lines, but then again, I'm not a manufacturing guy, so I don't know. But like the brushing you got there looks great. You get some. We can see the nice res, although I can see the pillowing of the height details going on there. Yeah, looks good. Man, you got some really nice photo. These renders look nice. These look really nice. This render down here looks really cool. I really like the amount of the specs that you got going on. You have a nice balance of like large to smaller ones. I like that. That's nice. I think the grain on the plastic isn't really showing up here that well. You get the blue tritium, I'm not sure. Not realistic, minus 50 points. This render looks nice. This render looks cool and nice. Although the lenses look a bit flat, but ooh, this is cool. I like that you like stack them up on each other. That's pretty nice. Maybe a bit too flat on the lighting, but it looks pretty like good for like neutral lighting. I think it's nice. Dial look right? Yeah, it looks right. All right. Good. This is good. It's pretty good, dude. I like it. And it's gonna be a hard challenge to judge. That's for damn sure. I think low poly just a bit too dense. UVs look good. The rain was a bit cheesy. I don't have a whole lot of complaints with this one. Yeah, that's pretty good. And the plastic really took me out of it. It's feels a bit cheap and like moldy, almost like a kid's toy. But plus 10 points for modeling those in. All right. Last but not least, let's move on. Actually, this is cool. I like this like frosted glass. Although I probably would have rendered out a bit more samples so we could like see the reflection a bit more. Not sure what my favorite render is. I think my favorite render is probably this one, the top, the first one. This one. I think this one's a money shot. I like that one. I like that one a lot. This one's good. I'd maybe adjust the lighting on this one. This one's good. Not really a fan of this one. And this one, I don't like the background. You and I are waiting for feedback. Okay. Yeah. You're right. You're right. Right, let's move on to Zost. Zost. He was the first to submit. All right. And this thing is awesome. Check. This thing is badass. So, look at the low poly. Tries are yet. I'm missing. Oh, there he is. Okay. You have the try count somewhere? Oh, you do. It's down there. 18K. It's a bit high, but we're good. It's good. It's in the realm of I'm not upset. Yeah. But oh, let's go. Let's stick to one thing at a time. Jumping ahead. Whoa. Unconventional to break this down to a box right here, but I think in the grand scheme of things, I think it will work. Yo, what's up, Antonio? What's going on, dude? Oh shit! All right, I need to. No, actually, the sun's getting my. I think after this, I'll go to the gym. I'll test out my apartment's new weight room. Oh, I see you got the red overlapped pieces. Cool, cool. This is overlapped from there, it looks like. Okay. You can get away with that, I think. Those submissions like a perfect balance between artistic expression. I think so too. That's good. It's a good point. It's a good point. Low poly. Too many issues. These bolts are super dense. Whoa, 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 whoa. These bolts are really dense right there. Like the Mortal Kombat t-shirt. Oh, thank you. I got this at this guy. I got it at a thrift store. Well, a resale thrift store. It's like $70 or something. Pretty cool. Cool. UVs. Got some empty space up here. There. I'm a weirdo. Not bad, not bad. Got some empty space here. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty solid stuff. These are your overlaps. Okay, cool. Efficient use of overlaps for if we were really going for a game, you know, we would totally mirror the dials. Mirror the inside of the scope is always a must. We would totally mirror these guys here. We would totally symmetry these bolts here, which I think he did actually, so that's good, that's good. Lenses, not so much actually. Well, it depends if you're baking details down to the lens. Sometimes you will. Like you'll bake a little lip on the glass. A reg vein. Yeah, he did kind of crush everyone with the deadline. That is something to think about as well. But as far as textures go, maybe a bit too much color. There are renders where this thing just has like a shitload of... I mean, artistically, I think it works, but it's not like overpowering. It's like a cool amount of color. It's not like if this thing was just like, you know, it'd be a bit much. Let me actually. Yeah, see, that looks bad, but like what you did, I think looks good. You got some nice color in there. These renders are juicy. They're like kind of mood lighting a bit. These scratches up here look cool. These scratches look sick. Scratch like there looks sick. This looks sick. This looks sick. Well, I'm not sure how I feel about it going across like that, but I can like, if we zoom into the pixels, I can see it going in the crevice right there. Just remove it right there. Scratch looks nice. Nice. Yeah, this thing, ooh, this render right here, dude, holy shit. Man. The fingerprint goes hard. Some idiot touches their lens of their scope. Actually, I did it the other day. I'm not sure how I feel about this wipey stuff going on here. Yeah, I would probably toss, probably take your brush and just mask out some of the wipe going on there. I can see you use stencils here, which is pretty good, but I feel like they're just a bit too harsh. They're not really supported by many soft details going on around it. Except you got these here, which look really cool. I love the soft details. I love that shit. As far as realistic goes, dude, I think you kind of nailed it, dude. Nice and dark in the diffuse. Nice and dark in the diffuse. This render, ooh. Got the screws modeled out, dude. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice stuff. Yeah, I can still see the diffuse wipey stuff going on. Awesome. Badass. Now this, you know, if the challenge was this rail right here, I think you would have won this challenge. This thing looks, I think you modeled, did you model this rail just for the challenge? Did you do that? I think we all got inspired by someone, didn't we? Rain, did you model this guy in just for the challenge? Because this thing, oh, it didn't get picked up. Gotcha. Yeah, this rail looks fucking awesome. This is like Modern Warfare 2 quality, dude. This is so nice. Maybe a bit less hair here, but we're not judging the rail. Judging the scope. We're judging the scope. Is that correct? Is that correct thickness there? Yeah, that's ooh. I think maybe a bit too thin. Maybe a bit thicker at the bottom there. I can see this one's a bit too thick. Yeah, these guys are a tad too thick, I think. These bolts look awesome. Careful, make sure you're not using an edge generator just around these edges. I think I don't see it, but I feel like there might be, but I think you're fine. Bolt looks like it's modeled correctly, looks beautiful. Ooh, these capsules are not correct. According to my reference, they should be pretty big. They should go down here. They should be a bit wider. Wait, maybe that's the... let's see if there's a different angle. See if there's a different angle. No, I think they're a bit... Yeah, I think these need to be a bit bigger. Maybe scaled up a bit. So inch pounds, nice. Your P is off alignment. Not bad. We're gonna talk about the copper renders later. I have a few things to say about that. Man, god damn it, dude, this rail is so fucking good, dude. Shit, man. Alright. Yeah, not bad. One thing I noticed with using chromatic aberration, I'm guilty of it too, but the noise, when you have noise in it, it like turns your noise like green. So what I'm kind of doing now is I'm taking the saturation, like a saturation layer, and like masking it so that on the green parts, just turn the chromatic aberration off and just leave it on parts like here where it looks cool. So that's something to keep in mind. Because I'm seeing this a lot on ArtStation. But these renders are nice. Nice, I like the material separation of that. See your modeled in bolts there. I think maybe the lighting doesn't show them, but I think a few specks of dust like in the reference. I mean, I can see them, but maybe some that are like a bit brighter, you know. This render right here is goated. Like the dust you got going on there. Oh, you got the tritium effect going on. That's major social credit. Good stuff, dude. Awesome. This render's pretty badass. Add to the S. I like the effect. Let me increase this so you guys can see it. This effect you got going on there looks great. This render, unfortunately, I think should toss it. The lighting is not great. It's just kind of a bad angle, I think. An orthographic, like first-person view. Yeah, I would toss this render. I'm not a fan of this. Yeah, I don't have much to say about that other than the lighting is a bit odd. It's kind of flat on the sides, and then yeah, the glass here is like, yeah, I'm not really a fan of how the glass is done here. I think that if you stuck to this kind of glass, I think on there it would have looked a lot better. Same with here, yeah. Looks like on this rail you got like too many scratches. You got a lot of whoa. You got a lot of scratches going on. Be careful with that. It looks a little much. It looks great on the black, but it looks a little much here in the tan paint job. This render's good. The welding that you did is that's pretty funny. That's pretty goofy. I like that. It's done pretty nicely as well. You've got the heat burning effect going on. Yeah. I know there's another render with it. Sorry, they're like all out of order. I think I'm missing it actually. Right. I don't think so. I don't think I'm missing a render. It's the best. What are you talking about? What am I talking about? Oh, the welding. Yeah, the welding is pretty goofy. I like that. It's really well done as well. Oh, I already said that, didn't I? There's one stray one. Oh shit. Go ahead and oh shit. Oh, I see it. Hold on. I see it. I didn't finish downloading. Whoa. There we go. There we go. That's the render, right? Yeah. This is the one that shows the welding. It's pretty goofy. I like that. That's pretty funny. What's up, Big Bear 69? What's going on, dude? Nice. Yeah, I like that render a lot. All right, so now I want to talk about the Cerakote, the tan Copper Cerakote. So it's good that you tried it. However, I think I would personally go back and start messing with some of the values, because immediately when I look at it, I think copper tube. Like I think of like copper tube behind my toilet, you know? Not like in an insulting way, just like that's where I see copper tubes. I think you went too glossy with it, because we're getting like this really dark fall off here. It's tough to say without looking at the actual like document channels themselves. But actually, Anna does. Yeah. I knew that. But looks like the inside of the cig right here is supposed to be all black. You have like a tiny lip of copper or whatever you call it. But I'm just not really a fan of it. I think it looks a bit better here. This one up here reads kind of like copper tubing, where this one here reads a bit more like just glass. Maybe a bit too saturated in the diffuse, maybe, or the specular, whatever you chose. Yeah, something about it is just slightly off to me. It looks better down here as opposed to up here, though. You know, it's not that bad. It's not that bad down here. Not bad. I like it. I like how you got like a subtle dirt going on in there. Maybe a bit too much speckly noise going on right here. I think that's a bit of a common theme throughout this one, is maybe a bit too much speckly noise. I think just like in the reference, there's just maybe like scratch here, a speck here, a tiny mark here, scratch there, something like that, you know. But overall, I think this is pretty great. I really like the soft oils you got going on there. Maybe you sharpen the logo a bit, but it's a little steppy, a little stair-steppy. Or maybe it's just the res isn't that great, but... Also, I think on the bolts down here, I think you could have done a bit more to like get a more machining going on. Machining going on there. I think that would have been a bit cooler, so to speak. It may not be realistic, but... Well, actually, I think I've seen it in a few of the renders. Yeah, I definitely see it in a few of the renders. Excuse me, so like... Also, I think they're modeled wrong. I think this chamfer... Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this chamfer is supposed to come out a bit farther. And then there's supposed to be a slight chamfer here, so it's like this, and it goes like this, this. I think it's just flat that you did. That you Overall, what's my favorite render? Down here is kind of a money shot. Also, I think he got it. Ooh, I think he sharpened a bit too much. Tone that down a bit present in this render. Cool. Pretty cool. I think this is my favorite. Kind of a tie though. I like that one, and then I really like... Man, this one's good too. Fan of those two. Oh man, this one's... this one. Yeah, I can't decide which my favorite render. You got like 4 in there that are really good. Really nice. Alright. That is all the feedback. Man, what a lot. That was 8 submissions. Oh, wait. You know what I love? I love that you copied Zost's render. Like you're gonna draw it, but you couldn't even draw your own original idea. I think your proportions here are a bit off. You're leaving a lot open for interpretation when it comes to this throw lever. You're leaving a lot for interpretation. Especially here, you've got like almost like kind of an AI generated shape right here that you would never see on a gun. Again, a lot to interpret here. Very nice stuff. Sig Sauer, it's a bit too big here. Pretty good. Copied mine actually. I love that you didn't crop that. Also, I love that you're using 24-hour time. You're one of those kids. Oh, this render right here, man. This is... I think this is the money shot here. And there's less than a day has to be considered as well. That is less than a day. That is pretty good, man. Finally, a good model. 24-hour time caught me off guard. Or maybe that's because he's overseas right now. That is understandable, but I love doing this. Just strike through and... Whoops. Well, you could do that. You can like control and then like... Oh, no, I pressed the wrong button. Get the fuck... Come on. Be my eraser, please. There we go. Demon fish. Alright, cool. Igor doesn't even deserve his own slide. He's going on the disqualified board. Doesn't even deserve a full res image either. Tube. Tube. Why can't I draw? Can I not draw? So you rasterize. I didn't rasterize. Right, and your image came in unrasterized. Nice, dude. Thanks. Dude. I think it's all wrong, honestly. You got a little point here that's just bad topology. Honestly, very weak modeling. I think this one's gonna get another disqualified as well. But like super big. Disqualified. Alright. Hydrate, good call. Alright. Jokes aside. Disqualified needs to be hypo. Alright, let's get to the harsh. Alright, let's get to the judging here. I feel like now, since we have more submissions, I think we might need to add a third place prize. However, I'm not going to do it this... not sure what it would be for a third place prize. Not sure what I would do. Alright. Alright, so we've got Chris here. Got Shader. Lance, very nice. Then we've got Casper, very cool. Yeah, I think this is a contender for winner. Hello? There. I think this is a contender for the winner. I'll draw a nice 1 hour portfolio review with Kimo. Yeah, there you go. Next challenge when? Soon, probably soon. This is a contender for winner as well. Well, it's tough to say because I think these are kind of only the two renders that I'm really a fan of. I'll give you the winner line. I'll give you that for now. Yes, this one's competitor. Zost is a competitor as well. I think the other ones, they kind of fall flat in certain areas. This one I think could have been rendered a bit better. Please don't take this personally and like come after my family, please. But I think these ones could have been rendered a bit better. Some of the things in textures I'm not really a fan of. We saw this render earlier, didn't we? Did Zost do this? Did. This one is close, but this one a bit overexposed. What do you say about the low poly on this one's a bit too high, right? Did I count? Look, let me look. Chris. She. I count. Oh, it's on that render, isn't it? There it is. 21K. Yeah, that's unfortunately just a bit too high. Oh, I just noticed these proportions down here are quite off. Right here, right here, right here. These are kind of important proportions to have equally machined out precisely. And unfortunately, I think they're a bit off. So, all right, shader. Wasn't really a fan of these perspective renders. What was shader's try count? 13. You had a very good try count. You had good tries around the lenses. I think overall we lose a lot of detail in these renders. The diffuse was just too much, too strong. Did everyone do this render? This layout? That's funny. I just noticed that. You did too. Nice. Your low poly's good. I think it just could have been rendered a bit better and then tone down the diffuse a bit. And I think you got something pretty good. Lance. I think the inside of the scope kind of bothers me here. The perspective renders wasn't really a fan of. Lance, what was your try? Looking at it. Try count on here. No, 13.9. Okay. There is an inside there. Oh, there is? Oh, okay. It's just kind of throwing me off a bit. But okay, if there's an inside, that's pretty good. But I wasn't really a fan. Whoa. Wrong tool. Wasn't really a fan of this going all the way around. Look at those proportions that we were looking at earlier. Proportions look good. These ones look good there. Casper, good start. Got to finish that model, man. Finish that model, bruh. But so far, so good, dude. Jap. I really liked how you took the idea of the scope and then like went with your own texturing direction with it. Super grungy. This render is really cool. I think you juiced the high poly a bit too much. These machine details are a bit too unrealistic for me. I really like that you got a different scope dial here, although it was a bit low res right there. I like that one. Rag, I think these renders just really don't do you justice. Like this one, super washed out. I think for yours, I think I would have liked to see it rendered a bit better. Like this render's decent. This render's wasn't really a fan of the noise. The proportions down there were a bit off. It's a contender. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Alex. I'm getting a bunch of messages. All right. I liked it. I think. What did I say about this one? Oh, the plastic felt a bit wrong. Some of the water felt a bit unrealistic. Which I'm not going to hold you too much to it because you tried to do something new and creative, so that's fine. You modeled in the box, that's good. Got a lot of funny stickers on there, that's kind of funny. Although I like that you took those off like, for certain renders, that's good. I like that. Cool, not bad. Not bad, not bad. I wasn't really a fan of this background on the render. So I think, yeah, I think we have a winner, and I think that's Mr. Zost here. I think Mr. Zost is the winner. Get a big number 1. I definitely think Zost put in a shitload of effort. He did multiple versions. He has a pretty decent try count, a bit high. Got the different versions. He modeled in this rail just to put it on his SVD. That's a lot of work, dude. This render right here is goated. This one's kind of goated. That's a goated render. You got the funny welding going on. It looks really nice too. There's no like bake errors or anything like that. Looks like you baked it, modeled it in, and textured it. That's a lot of work, dude. I could see the amount of work you put in, and I think it really paid off, so. It sounded kind of funny in my headset. Oh, is this, you like this one? Yeah. It's good, dude. Smurfing, dude. It's good too. Oh, I see Jap's name. Can't, yeah, I guess that is a slur, isn't it? I'll allow it, but careful. Yeah, I didn't think of that, Jap. That name is a slur. Okay. Maybe we should change that name. So now we got a tough one. Now we got a tough one. I'm not gonna lie, this is a tough one. Everyone keeps saying Jap and then gets their message deleted. You know, I really like this one. I really like this one because it's something that I would like. A client would. There are clients out there that would love this type of texturing. There's some clients that would hate it. Like, I think for Modern Warfare 2, this has some of this grunge and stuff really doesn't have a whole lot of place for like Modern Warfare 2, but like this render's nuts. This is a goated render. Decent wireframe. What was Jap's? Jap's try count. 18K, same as Zost, so it's in a decent range. The glass is a little much. This is something that I would love to like look at in a game. You know, because like I've talked about this a few times with people, but like there's a point of like diminishing returns where you've gone so realistic to the point where it's just boring to look at, you know. And I think Jeb really nailed the like visual interest of it, although it is unrealistic from the concept. I think, or not. I keep saying concept is reality. I guess reality is a concept, but oh, I forgot about this render. This render right here is. I don't know how you did this. I don't know how. I'm assuming you like decal planed all this grass, or if you did in Unreal, but this is like, whew. Let me erase this shit so we can see it in its full glory. Yeah, dude, this render right here. Like, I want to see this on ArtStation. Add a bit of, maybe a bit of vignette around here. You've got this detail that I've only seen the Brawly do. The Brawly man himself. I think that's, yeah, I think that one really stands out a lot. And I think that is why I'm going to give Jap, I think, the number 2 spot. Right, erase all this shit. Oh, your UVs need quite a bit of work, by the way. But terrible too. I think I'm gonna give Jap the number 2. That is my honest opinion. Based opinion, perhaps. I think if I were to give a 3rd place, it would be Alex. But man, these renders right here, are fucking. This render right here. I need to see this on ArtStation, man. I think you should post these guys right here. This render right here looks awesome. If you do post and you keep that sticker in there, much appreciated. Thought those were pictures. I know, I thought so too. Those are amazing. If you had 7 renders like this and took out these 2, I think you could have been a big contender for 2nd place. I think so. Yeah, man. This rock render right here. Whew. I think I might participate in the next challenge. Do you know when that'll be? No. Give me a week to decide what the model will be. I have a few ideas already. But give me a little time to decide, and then I'll post it. You'll know. You will know. But I'd say about a week, 2 weeks. Give it a shot as well. Good stuff. I have some ideas. I think a lot of you are gonna hate it, but I have a few ideas. Something Zentico would be awesome. Zentico does make some cool stuff, but yeah, Zentico's awesome, dude. Zentico makes some shit. I got a few ideas. I'm looking at so we've done a grip, we've done stock, we've done a scope, we've done 2 scopes. Have we done 2? Let me look back at the announcements. A grip, 2 grips, we did a stock. We did a scope before. Cool, okay. Yeah, so I think MRO. We're not doing MROs. I think this one's gonna be a bit tricky for some people. And that's what I want. I want there's this thing that happens, like when you get in the industry, you know, you get you see the board of projects that need to be done, and then you look at one and it's like, oh god, I really hope I don't get assigned that project, because it's just like, I don't know how to do that. And I think that's where, like, I've done a shitload of those projects where it's like, wow, this is going to take forever, like I don't know what I'm doing, like. So and that's where I found I learned the absolute most. Like, not even from tutorials, just from like looking at those projects that are just like, wow, this is hard. And then when you really sit down, break it down, you know,